Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our service today. We begin with our Acknowledgement of Land. We are a treaty people on Treaty 4 land. We give thanks for the land and those who were the original stewards, the Cree, Saulteaux, Lakota, Dakota, Nakota nations in southern Saskatchewan. We also give thanks for the Métis Nation. We acknowledge the harms of the past and commit ourselves to the ongoing work of reconciliation as Indigenous and non-Indigenous siblings. And so we light our Christ candle and our candle of truth in reconciliation. So welcome everyone here today. Welcome to our service. We were going to have baptism this morning, but unfortunately baby Miles is sick today, so we're going to reschedule the baptism for another day. So a shout out to Megan and Devlin and Jack and baby Miles, and we're thinking of you and hope that everybody's feeling better soon. We are an affirming ministry of the United Church of Canada. We are a community that values diversity. We are two-spirit LGBTQIA plus friendly congregation. We value the richness that diversity brings and comes as we gather together as people of diverse ethnic backgrounds, ages, abilities, and income levels. So please do join us. Next week, we're going to be having church in person, so come on down and join us, 10 a.m. Let's continue now. Oh yes, and as you're tuning in, please say good morning in the comment box. And anytime during the service, if you'd like to make a comment, please do, or there are the emoji buttons, hearts, happy faces, sad faces, whatever you're feeling, do let us know. Let us continue now with our opening words. Just as many rivers merge together into the sea, we have come together to celebrate the source. Our hearts overflow with gratitude for the gift of the waters of our planet. Our hearts overflow with gratitude for the gift of the waters of love and faith. Let us be refreshed and inspired by the waters of faith to be a community of spirit and life. Our opening hymn is from More Voices, number 3, River.
River, rushing down to the ocean blue. River, from a mountain high. As you do what rivers do, river, draw your spirit nigh. Spirit, coming down to the riverside. Spirit, spark with her thought. River, let me free for you to guide. Spirit, pray that I'll be taught. Water, let me drink of your healing power. Water, strengthen every heart. Water, as I travel with such a cloud. Water, help my body live. River, flowing down where run people. River, source of clearest view. River, as I walk your rocky shore. River, see my journey through.
Let us continue with our prayer of renewal and invite those of you who are here in the sanctuary to read the words in bold. O living presence flowing in all life, we remember the streams of our past, the pools and ponds where we played and felt the soft caress of water, the touch of life on our skin, and the feeling of celebration as we splashed and played. We also remember and confess how humanity has violated and polluted the rivers of our garden planet. We are ashamed of our apathy and insincerity towards the abuse of water. So let us take silence now as we reflect on these words, what we are saying and how they are impacting our life. Jesus hears our confession from the Jordan and calls us to open our ears and our hearts to revive rather than to desecrate the rivers. Teach us to love earth as our home and all living creatures as our kin. Inspire us and our children to conserve, preserve, and use water responsibly, to become sensitive to the desperation of those without water, and gain wisdom in conserving and preserving water so that rivers roll out in justice among all nations and all peoples. Amen. So for our all ages time today, we're going to talk about water, because water comes to us in many different ways. So one of the ways that water comes to us, and we've just been singing about it, is through rivers. There's lots of rivers in Canada. We're very lucky about that. And there's rivers. There's little Wascana Creek in Regina. There's lots of different rivers around. Rivers can do lots of things. When rivers flow, it's a home for fish, aren't they? There's lots of plants that grow around rivers. Rivers are very important. And rivers, too, they can make stones go very, very, very smooth. They can wear down stones and make them very smooth. We have lots of rivers in Canada, so today we are thankful for rivers. Another place where we have water is oceans. There are lots and lots of oceans all over the world and lots of life in the oceans. And in the oceans, there's kind of a problem too, because there's lots of plastic in the oceans. And part of the reason that there's plastic is because of these things. And what's this? This is a plastic bottle. So it's holding life-giving water. But unfortunately, what happens is that in some places, bottles aren't recycled. And so it becomes a big, big problem. And there's lots and lots of plastic in the ocean. So what could we do about that? What could we do about that problem? Anybody? What could we do about that problem with the plastics in the ocean? We could use recycled things. So, if you have to have water in a bottle, what you can do is when you're done with the bottle, you could put it in recycling. And we were talking about a really neat thing you could do with a bottle. If you have a dog at home, you can turn this bottle into a dog toy. It's pretty neat. So what you can do is that you empty the bottle. When it's all empty, you can put the cap in the middle and you wrap it in a sock, and then you put it on the floor and the dog will play with the bottle. It's pretty neat. And it helps this bottle have many, many uses. So that's something you could do, is be sure to recycle what you're doing with your plastics. Water is very important for us in our faith too, because water is a sign in baptism. It's a sign of God's love. So let's remember, when we see water, when we're a part of it, when we're bathing in it, when we're washing in it, let's be thankful for the gift of water. And let's remember that we are all beloved children of the divine. And we are kin with all of life. And all life deserves a chance to have clean water. And we have a part in that today. We're going to sing a song now. We're going to sing our song, I've got peace like a river, as we remember our rivers. I've got joy like a fountain. And I've got love like an ocean in my soul for all of humanity and all our life kin. So let's sing together. Oh, and just keep going. And don't forget the actions.
I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, I've got joy like a fountain, got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, I've got love like an ocean, got love like an ocean in my soul.
So our scripture readings for today, Dawn is going to read for us.
Psalm 146. Praise be to you. Praise the beloved, O my soul. I will praise you with all my being. I will sing joyfully and with thanksgiving to you, heart of my heart. Put not your trust in riches, in illusionary things that fade away. For when our day comes to depart this world, at that very time we carry only the love imprinted upon our soul. Blessed are those whose strength is in the beloved, whose trust is in you, O divine lover, who gave birth to the universe, the heavens, the earth, and sea, and all that is within them. You are ever faithful, bringing balance and harmony to earth, nourished to the body and soul. You free us from the bonds of fear. You give us insight to those who would see. You lift up the fainted-hearted, giving secure to those who weep, and watch over those on journeys, sending guides and angels to lead the way. Oh, that we might become beacons of light to those in darkness. May you, who live forever in our hearts, lose the fetters of fear that bind us, that we might praise you always with fear, with free and joyful song. May it be so. Mark 1, 9-11. In those days, Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in the Jordan. And just as he was coming up out of the water, he saw the heavens torn apart and the Spirit descending like a dove on him. And a voice came from heaven, "You are my beloved Son. With you I am well pleased."
Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church today. Well, since we're not having a baptism this morning, I'm going to be focusing on the River Sunday element of our service. I believe that the Spirit of life calls to all of us to change our way of relating to the earth's waters. So I have three people who listened or who are listening to this call in their lives. Here are their stories. The first person is Boyan Slat. Boyan Slat is a young entrepreneur and researcher who became a public figure in a 2012 TED Talk about the amount of plastic in the oceans and the need for sustainable ways to harvest and recycle it. At that point, he was 18 years old. His desire to act originated when he was 16. He went scuba diving off the coast of Greece with a friend and encountered more plastic than fish. This made a huge impact on him. And so in his TED Talk, he described the modern era as the plastic age. He named all the ways that plastic are used in Western society. And he spoke about the existence of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. You can look that up. Humans have produced about 8,300 million metric tons of plastic since its invention. Approximately 8 million metric tons of plastic waste enters the oceans in a year, according to a 2015 estimate. The Ocean Conservancy predicts that by 2050, ocean plastics will outweigh the collective weight of the world's marine fish. Think about that. By 2050, ocean plastics will outweigh the collective weight of the world's marine fish. Slat spoke about an invention that he had come up with that he and a friend had tested. Of course, remember, he was 18. He spoke about his dream to clean the Great Pacific Garbage Patch up in 5 years with the right technology. Well, a number of people heard that talk. It went viral. And some major donors came forward, heard his message, after hearing his message, and they were moved to act. Slat dropped out of Delft University of Technology, where he was studying aerospace technology, and founded Ocean Cleanup 2013. The nonprofit is funded by a couple of Dutch philanthropists, a venture capitalist, and also through crowdfunding. They have $31 million either donated or invested in that organization. There are currently 90 researchers, scientists, and computational modelers working to get rid of the world's plastics. Their goal is to reduce the amount of plastics in the oceans by 90%. Ocean Cleanup attempted to build a flotilla of sea sweepers to collect plastics, recycle them, and then sell them. There were a couple of prototypes. One failed, and the other had moderate success. Fishing nets floating in the oceans are a real problem for whales and dolphins. They have had success in collecting fishing nets and recycling them to be used in the production of high-end sunglasses as part of a group of products. Interesting model. Sell stuff to people who can afford it as a kind of a status symbol, as a way to raise money and awareness. Ocean Cleanup also produced research which showed that 1,000 of the world's most polluted rivers were responsible for approximately 80% of the world's plastic pollutions. They produced a solar-powered, barge-like system to be used at the mouths of the world's major rivers. Currently, interceptors, as they are called, have been deployed in Indonesia and Malaysia, and are going to be deployed in Vietnam and the Dominican Republic. Another person who listened to the call, this call of the earth, the call of life, is John Kellet. He invented a smaller, more community-based solution that was really the predecessor of these big river trash interceptors. John is the former director of Baltimore's Maritime Museum. John used to walk to work each day, and he would cross the Jones Falls River by footbridge. After it rained, there would be a river of trash flowing down that into the harbor. He had spent 20 years working on the harbor and primarily in environmental education and shipbuilding, and had a deep knowledge of the harbor's hydrodynamics and history. The city was open to ideas, so he drew up plans based on the past, an old-fashioned water wheel. The plan first came to him while he was at a restaurant, and he drew the plan on a paper napkin, kind of low-tech. The Mr. Trash Wheel prototype was born. It is an inner harbor water wheel that collects trash from the Jones Falls River as it empties into the inner harbor in Baltimore. It's powered by the river's current and solar power. Several more trash wheels have been built since then in Baltimore. There is now Professor Trash Wheel, Captain Trash Wheel as well. 3 local beers are named in their honor, and the city has a Trash Wheel Fan Festival and a society dedicated to promoting environmental awareness known as the Order of the Wheel. There are now more Mr. Trash Wheel type interceptors in different harbors in the US and one in China. Some are named as male, some are named as female. The rivers are calling to us to stop using plastics and to be responsible in how we live. I'm guilty in using too much plastic, and I want to change. A new generation is going back to practices that many of you or your parents did before plastics. There is at least one store in Regina that sells what's called refillables for containers. Some people also are only using glass jars, buying in bulk, and are trying to have as minimal amount of waste as possible. So our third person today, who is listening to the call of the rivers and of our planet around the use of plastics, is Carly Raywitt. She is the founder of The Alternative here in Regina. She is part of a movement to stop using plastic as much as possible. The Alternative is a local business. It's a zero-waste market located here with a goal to inspire others to choose an alternative lifestyle by connecting them to quality, locally made, and sustainable goods. They sell refillables and handmade goods. Carly founded her business while on maternity leave. She wasn't able to find a local source for high-quality natural products that she would trust to use in her home on her future children. She saw a business opportunity and a way to help the planet. Products are sourced from Canada as much as possible, and handmade goods are Sask-made. They sell zero-waste starter kits. They are located in the market at 1377 Hamilton, or you can order online. So 3 people, Boyan, John, Carly, are 3 people who saw a problem, and something in them was touched in such a way that they were moved to act. We have big tech, community activism, and an individual using social enterprise to make a difference. They listened to the call of the Spirit of life in different ways. They listened and they acted according to their gifts. They listened, they acted, and they helped others. They inspire others to hear their call and to also act. As we think about our gospel reading, the Spirit called Jesus at the Jordan River. After his baptism, he emerged from the river and stepped into his ministry. He was an advocate for others, and I believe that the Spirit calls us to be an advocate for our planet and for our waters. We don't have to be doing huge, big things to make a difference, because we know that small actions add up. 1 plastic bottle, 1 plastic wrapper, 1 bag at a time. So what are you going to do to respond to the call of the waters? What are you going to do to respond to the call of the Spirit of life? What are you going to do to respond to God's call to care for this earth? I offer this prayer in conclusion from the River Sunday Liturgy. Jesus, teach us to empathize with the earth. Make our spirits sensitive to the cries of creation, cries for justice from the hills and the trees. Make our faith sensitive to the groans of the Spirit. groans from the deserts, the plains, the waters, and the winds. Make our souls sensitive to the call of our kin, species in pain calling from land, sea, and air. Teach us to care. Amen. Let us continue now with our announcement time. Well, we have a number of announcements today. So around our coming services, next Sunday is in-person Back to Church service. And so do come. We are requiring that you wear a mask. We want everyone to be as safe as possible. And let's see, there is going to be congregational singing, and Dawn has an announcement related to this.
Hear ye, the choir is back, the choir is back. If you'd like to join us for a little bit of fun, please contact the office and we will get you in the choir. Woo!
Sounds great. Is there anything else we need to say about that, Richard? Oh, Richard. No? Okay. All right. So do come, and we ask you to sit in the places where, well, there you are. Do come. We ask you to sit in the places where there's green tape, and there will be people who will be able to guide you to give you some more information. The Sunday after that, the 19th, is a service of release for moi, as I take steps into retirement. And so it's also going to be Communion Sunday, so as well, do come. The service might be a bit on the long side, so be prepared for that. And then there's a party for me. Anybody want to say anything about that party? I feel weird inviting people to my own party. Well, you come to my party, but Patty, do you want to say a little something? Oh, I don't know how you can.
Yeah, party's at 2 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Party. Pat says party at 2.
And call Margaret to reserve your seats. And we're filling up very quickly.
Okay, call Margaret to reserve your seat because we want to be sure that we can, we're kind of COVID safe and we're filling up pretty quickly. So it should be fun. There's a program, and call Margaret for more information. Okay. The book group at St. James starts again Monday, September the 13th, 1:30 to 3. The book study is Reimagining God, The Faith Journey of a Modern Heretic by Lloyd Greening. Please wear a mask to the meeting. They meet at the church. And then we'll be meeting every week. All are welcome. Big thank you around VBS to everyone. Big thanks to Raywitt and all the volunteers. Also, there is a VBS project going on. We have our school supply collection here. And we're about this far up in school supplies. They're going to be, excuse me, just a sec. That are going to be sent to the Philippines to a United Church of Christ ministry there. Pardon me. So do bring school supplies, and we're going to try and fill the box. That's probably enough for now. Just one more. There is a day of action this Wednesday at noon at Vic Square Park. It's a climate emergency action gathering. It's a call to politicians for a moratorium on fossil fuel expansion and just transition legislation. Masking and physical distancing is recommended. Any other announcements? Okay. So today we have our time of gratitude. Today we are grateful for so many gifts. The gifts of this planet, the gifts of our lives. We are grateful today for all the giving that is going on in this congregation, and thank you and thankful for the gifts that we are receiving. We also today remember the Mission and Service Fund and its important work in the world. Please bless these gifts that we would be a blessing for others. Amen. And so let's move into the prayers of the people today. There are a number of concerns. Today, again, prayers for baby Miles and Jack and the Clancy family. today as healing energy that way. Brian Main is in the hospital, at the General Hospital, and he doesn't have a telephone, but pretty important if you would be able to send a card his way. You could drop a card off at the church here, sending him messages of care and support. Today we remember those frontline workers, nurses, doctors, people in the hospital, all who are bringing healing and hope to people living with COVID. We hold them in prayer today. We also hold in prayer all who are struggling and need healing and hope and wisdom in whatever way that is. We open our hearts today. I'd also like to hold farmers today in prayer. Many have had their crops devastated, and this recent hail as well. Praise for wisdom, for strength, and that we as a community might support them in ways that we can. Is there anybody else? Anybody would like to remember in prayer here today? So let us now continue then. We're going to offer these prayers from that place within us that hardly has words. Prayers for ourselves, for our actions, that we be part of help bringing healing to the earth as well. Christine is going to play some music, and then we're going to move into the Lord's Prayer. To our song of sending forth, I'd like to say a huge, I'm feeling weepy now, a huge thank you. Things are going to be shifting now with our services as coming back to having church service in the sanctuary. So it's been kind of an incredible year for all of us as we had to pivot and shift and innovate. And so thank you to Dawn. Oh, yes, to Dawn, Patty, Norm's here today, Christine, Richard, Brenda, Emer Ashkevel is also here helping today. To Darwin, to Vic, who is learning. Who else? Anybody? Diane Robinson, who's been part of this crazy, faith-filled, up and down, intense journey. So, yeah, things are going to shift next week, so thank you. Thanks to everybody who's been a part of this spirit-led time together.
Love you, Laura.
Aw, you too. So let us sing our song of sending forth, River Running in UNV, verses 1, 2, 3, and 7.
River running in you and me, spirit of life, deep mystery, dancing down to the holy sea. River run deep, river run free. River laughed on birthday, wind and water joined in play, soaked my soul in the shiny spray. River run deep, river run free. River, cry my name to me, lend me hope and mystery, sing for me the story. Holy deep, river run free. River singing you and me, spirit of life, deep mystery, catch us up in your melody. River run deep, river run free.
And as we were singing, I remembered Alan Colleen Bars as well, who were singing all winter. So we are called to be followers of Jesus, to live in the way of love and compassion, to serve earth by caring for this creation, honoring the gifts of water and all that our earth kin may live. We are listening. We pledge to act in love and in faith. So friends, peace be with you, but we're going to substitute love today. Love be with you, love forever, love be with you, my friends. Till we meet again, may God be with you as love, love, love.
Love be with you, love forever. Love be with you, my friend.